What's up, guys? Quincy J. Sims here, CEO of Bridge the Gap Marketing, and you are now inside of our sales office, the closest thing to a comedy show that you're ever gonna get. If they're talking door to door and they're not talking us, then what the hell are they talking about? All right, guys, I want to start us off by making some noise. All right, guys, periodically you're definitely going to hear us just make noise. Why? Because we're full of life, we're full of energy, and we want to bring that energy to you. Now, I am Quincy J. Sims, CEO of Bridge the Gap Marketing and founder of Are You Motivated University.
Hey guys, and of course I'm Lamesha Niya Anderson. I'm talent acquisition, also head of business to business department.
And I'm the know-it-all, Wilson Cruz, head of residential.
Dope. Listen, guys, the point of this podcast is to make sure that you guys get a load of what it's like to be inside of a sales office. Years ago, a sales office saved my life. Actually, more than once, right? It's the best place that I can ever think about being. I'm talking about more important to me than church, right? Definitely the most self-developing place that I've ever been. Being around so many motivated individuals, it changed my life. What about you guys?
It's pretty much the same thing for me. Like I couldn't imagine doing anything else. Like I got introduced to this field in 2012, and yeah,
8 years. Wow.
It's crazy. Pretty much my son was like 6 years old at that time. So this podcast is just me reaching out to females. Like it's a male dominant industry, but I feel like female, we're the best at it. Mm-hmm. Why? Because we just have that natural drive instinct. We can take care of home, we take care of our partner and children, and we still go make the money. So it's like, I'm for y'all.
High five on that. Listen.
How do I even match that? Alright, so it's already a female dominated area, okay. Now, but for me, I'm bringing the nerves to it. For everyone that's nervous, not really confident about knocking doors, the hype, they put it here and they don't mean it. I'm here to relate that it is easy when you get confident with what you're doing, and it just relates. It relates. It's just the experience, period.
Listen, I agree with both of you guys, man, because I still get nervous out there in the field. I'm sure you do as well, right? And I definitely agree with her. It is definitely a female-driven business. You guys are going to meet somebody, right? We're going to introduce somebody that's also a female, that's already crashing the boards, already making money inside of the business. I'm sure she was nervous as well. The idea is, though, guys, the point is that I think each and every one of us speaks for someone else at this table. And I hope that they can actually see that at home, right? I guess the next thing is, who do you want to speak for? Who do you want to speak to at this podcast?
I mean, like I mentioned, this female empowerment, like, this is our field. Yeah. Although it's a lot of males, like, we're taking over, like, not to throw y'all under the bus, but the stats.
Like you're being competitive.
No, but the stats are showing, it's not my stats, it's showing that female right now, we're like the head of the household. We're the one who's owning businesses. And it's just changing the narrative of how the normal household used to be. We're basic, like, we're head of the household.
Listen, let me tell you something. It sounds competitive over here, don't it? How do you feel about that?
Me? That's for status. I'm looking for financial freedom. The worries, I want my day to go the way I want it to go. And this actually gives me a lot of leverage. I'm not the most punctual person. Yeah. I'm late. I'm telling you, I'm going to be late for my own funeral. But even with that said, financial freedom, I'll be able to do what I need to do, provide for my family, and that's overwhelming. That's overwhelming. Knowing I could do that at any given time, turn it on, switch it up.
Yeah. Listen, I'm all for financial freedom. I'm all for. I mean, that's exactly why I got into this business as well. It was a company that I felt like I could buy back my time from, right? Every day that I go to work, I feel like I'm just buying back my time, so I'm on my time more often, right? I was in love with this business. Well, I didn't have to be anywhere till like 12 o'clock. That's what time my day started. Where everybody else had to get up at 8 a.m. in the morning and go to work, I didn't, right? And my check was bigger than theirs, right? And they was actually, my mother and father wanted me to go to college. They wanted me to go to college so bad it wasn't even funny.
My mom paid for my nursing school.
I still owe mine. I know.
Yeah. Wow. Right? Don't you actually have a degree?
Yeah, definitely do.
It's crazy. That's crazy. What do you have a degree in?
Oh, computer information technology.
Do you use it?
Of course not.
What about you? You went to college, did you finish?
No, I obtained about 60 credits. I did it for business management. But I graduated with my, I did what is it, medical assistance?
Yeah.
I got the certification for that one, but never used it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, let me ask you, before I get into my story, right, because I definitely went to college. I just never finished, and I don't have any regrets about that. Before I get into my story, what is it that really changed the direction that you were heading? I mean, there's a lot of thought that goes into going to college. I mean, you don't wake up one morning and say, I'm going to college. I mean, it's been years in preparation. By the time you get to ninth grade, right, your parents are talking about college. You fill out the test, right, you go take the test. You go check out the school. You know this is what you want to do. You got your clothes all ready. You know what you're going to wear. You pick out your courses. You get to the classroom. You meet the people inside the classroom, and then one day you wake up like, no, this is not the place I want to be. Wow, what changes that?
That's tough.
I mean, for me, I grew up in a household where I never really saw my mom working for anyone. I mean, it came to a point, she had a restaurant, but like I was very young. I was in like elementary school. It got burned down. She went to work for like 1 month. Then she got a loan and opened up another restaurant. So I never got this. I was privileged enough not to see my parents work. So it was kind of inbuilt in me, if that's the proper word, to just not work for anyone. And I tried working
It's
for
not a
people.
word, by the way, but it's good. It's good.
Well,
on
it
this
works.
show.
It's,
Don't
you
worry
guys
about
know what
it.
I'm
It
saying,
works.
right?
I love it. But listen, don't lose your train of thought, because I want to know more about Jackie. Your mother is the most fascinating woman ever.
Definitely.
You know, her mother's a multi-millionaire, by the way, right? I'm talking about a real hustler. So, you know, I want to know more about Jackie. So tell me, you know, what was it? You seen what Jackie was going through?
I mean, I see what she's going through. It's just like she's not working for anyone. And she's driven, and although she could wake up anytime she wants, she's always punctual. Like she's the first, oh my gosh, I couldn't say it so well.
No, that's all right. No, you were saying, she's always the first up. She's the most punctual.
She's punctual, like, she's so like wealthy, healthy right now to the point that she's not only taking care of her immediate, like her children, she's taking care of her grandchildren now. She has great grandkids. So I just want to be privileged to that point that I'm not only responsible for my kids. If my kids have kids, I'm able to help them if I want to. So I heard her say, and I don't know if it was Michelle Obama, they say, you know, you're wealthy when you take care of 3 generations, if that makes sense. Yeah, so like, that's the point I want to get to. I tried a 9 to 5 and it's like, okay, this is not for me. I don't want to clock into anything stop. I'm never on time, first of all. So when I got introduced to door-to-door, I've left a few times, but it's like I always had to come back to this. Because it's like selling drugs. Even if you want like a lot of money really fast, go in front of the doors. So to me, that's what it's for. It's not like someone wake up and say, oh, I want to be a door knocker. But I want financial freedom, and this is the map way to get me to there.
Damn right. Damn right. What about you, bro? You know, what about you, man? What was it that was that turning point for you? You were supposed to go to college, man. You graduated.
I did graduate.
You were supposed
But that
to
wasn't
be in
even
jail
on my
fixing
own.
computers.
That wasn't even on my own. You know, I really wanted to skip college altogether. I think, you know, I started a family very early. You know? And I should have had that instinct to take care.
How early?
I'm talking about 18, man.
Well, you beat by 2 years, I was
16.
16.
Yeah, I was married by 18.
Oh, y'all been having sex a long time at this time.
Yeah. Woo-hoo. It was bad. But you know what? She encouraged me to go to college. She encouraged me to go to college just to have the experience under my belt. I chose that subject because it interested me the most. But really, I didn't see a career coming out of it. So I finished it and I continued. And I've had a lot of dead-end 9-to-5 jobs, you know?
Yeah.
You do those things to provide. When I started doing door-to-door, it was 2013.
You know, I remember.
Oh, you were ready. It was cool. It was diverse. There was so many go-getters in there. It was motivating. And I was a nerve wreck. I didn't know nothing about nothing. I just heard a lot of motivating people saying, is you give yourself the opportunity to really grasp what we're giving you here, you can make a lot of money. One, you know the money's always the hype. The money's always the hype. You like nice things, you want to look good. But it was just like, it was very well kept. It was very well kept, and it created a mentality and a mindset to take advantage of those opportunities.
Yes, it did.
So, oh
Yes,
my,
it did.
oh, dang, I had a lot. I want to be one of those millionaires being created, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, let me say this, right? With door to door, it's just like you're selling the sizzle, not really the steak, right? And that's what this podcast is about, is to give them the steak. It's to let them know the ingredients of why it's so important. When you describe being inside of a sales office, that's just like me being when I came to a sales office. It changed my world, letting me know that there's this many people that's disciplined, right? And focused on success every day. I'm talking about we had a numbers board, and the numbers were up on the board, and every day we high-fiving, we making noise, right? We happy for each other, we celebrate. And when someone lost and didn't have a sale, we all felt it. Inside of the sales office, it was more of a family than a lot of times my own family at home, right? And that goes back to what I was saying. I mean, what changed for me when I was in college is, first off, my father did something very cool. Did you have to pay for college?
No.
Did you have to pay for college?
No.
So my father did something very unique, right? He made me pay, right? So, and I remember what it felt like to go take these folks my money, right? So you get there to the class, and I'm taking business administration. I got a public speaking course, all the things that I love to this day, right? And I never forget, like, it's $800 in books, and now I gotta go pay for these books now. This is besides what I paid for to go to school. This is just the books now, it's $800. All right, now I know what $800 is now at this point. But they told me something. They told me that if I bring the books back in good condition, I'm gonna get my money back. So I look forward to that day. I kept these books in pristine condition. I'm gonna bring back the books, man. They want to give me $80. I did the math, you know what I'm saying? Now, you know, that's a $720 loss. You know what a $720 loss is. You know what I can do with this money, right? So I remember thinking then, like, yeah, I don't like this at all. But I got one of them fathers that's like, hey, man, you're going to go to college, you're going to get out of my house. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's you probably, you know, you guys know those type of parents, right? But he meant it, right? So, and I'll never forget, right, I was already on the fence after this point, but I went to class, and I'm speaking with my business professor. And I was like, well, what business you own? And I said it in front of the class so everybody laughed, right? But I wasn't being funny. And I don't think he understood that I wasn't being funny. Like, I'm searching for something. I'm trying to find a like-minded individual like myself because I want to know. I'm paying all this money and I want to know what I'm getting back, right? You know when you're young and you're searching for something. And he said, I don't own any businesses. And then everybody laughed again. But I'm feeling like this is not funny. You teaching us about business and you don't own a business? Well, what business you want to own? And then everybody laughs again, right? But again, it's not funny to me, but he think I'm being a class clown, you know, like I'm just want to disrupt the class. And he's just like, I don't want to own a business. I'm never going to own a business. I come from scholars. My family, we're educators. Everybody laughed again. I'm still not laughing. To this day, I'm still not laughing. Because for some reason, I felt like he was looking down on me, and I'm paying my money for this education. And I'm providing you with a lifestyle. What am I getting? You don't even love what you do. So for me, that's why I come to work every day and I love what I do. I only hire the people I respect and admire that really want this opportunity because nobody will ever stand in my classroom and heckle me like, what business you own. I will be able to show them I do what you do on a daily basis and I'm the best way, the best conduit that you have to get where you're going. So.
It's crazy because even in the field, sometimes you're not doing it. They're like, oh, you're not doors. I'm like, and these are people like in public housing. They're looking down on a job that we do, like we're not doing. Like, yeah, not doors. Yeah. These are people who doesn't even have a job. They don't have no income on public assistance. But it shows that like people will judge you for something they don't have the heart to do. So that's basically what that professor was doing. He's teaching something he has no heart to do. It's like, how could you teach business when you never ran a business?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I see the admiration every day. I see the admiration. I got so much admiration for everybody around me, and that's why I love my own company. I really do, because I admire each and every person that works here, because I know what you're going through. You don't think I know what you go through? You don't think I know what you go through? And a lot of times I'm there for it. And when I see it, it's like, no, that's mistreatment. I don't like it. I feel my views. Right. And that's exactly why I like for us to make sure that we have fun and make sure that we talk about it. Right?
Definitely.
You know, but guys, with that being said, one thing that I've been meaning to ask you guys, right, is how do you guys get so good at this position? Meaning, you know, like yourself, right? I mean, you took B2B to a whole new level. we went from just getting that program to doing 1 or 2 sales per week to now doing over 10 sales per week. And that's just in the course of just 2 to 3 weeks, right? So we got so much growth, so much potential, and you spearheaded that. But what is your exercise? What is your route that you take every morning to ensure that we are successful in the B2B program?
I mean, well, for me, it's just about, I'm big on self-development. I read a lot, I listen to a lot of audio. I try to just drown out the noise, because especially like Instagram and social media, it gets extremely noisy. You'll go on social media, you feel like you're not working hard enough, because you have this facade online. You'll seem grande when you're really moving small. So for me, it's like focusing on my own plate basically, and just self-development. Like listening to guys like Jim Brown, like he does it for me, or Les Brown voice, like he laughs.
I love his laugh.
It's everything for me, so I'm just big on self-development. Just protecting my mind.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. What about you? You big on self-development?
Yeah, not in so many words, but I hate whenever I start thinking about myself, I start getting nervous. But it's so easy. Residential is even easier. It's only because of the mentality that I keep. I don't know. What I bring to the field is just energy. It doesn't matter what I say. If I smile, how you doing? It's always going to be different. But it's so easy to open up when you got confidence in yourself that I express myself that way.
One thing that I noticed with you is, right, just like you said, definitely full of energy, full of life. I mean, you're always ready for war, right? You're the perfect wingman. When I'm out there, I'm serious, man.
I go ready to carry
it. It doesn't matter, whatever I need done, it's like, Q, I got it, right? I sent him to the store the other day for just some crackers, right? I just felt like some crackers. He came back with 2 boxes of crackers, man. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't deliver, he over-delivers. And he's the perfect wingman. I think that people are going to be able to see that. And I can't wait to see what you do with our residential campaign now at this point.
Right now, I got some creative. And with the team, oh my God, I know the people you bring on board are just open-minded. They have to be open-minded. It's too easy to take control of your life. You're in charge of it.
I think it's your weakness in the field, though.
My weakness?
What can you do better?
Get out there.
You talk a lot, so it's like...
I do talk a lot. I know about it.
Sometimes looking at your numbers, like, how is he able to sell 12 sales and he talks so much, so... It's just, what's your weakness?
Because that's what it is. I talk too much. They love it. When I'm at the door and I talk too much, they're like, huh? Oh, I got you exactly where I want you. Let me bring you into the conversation now. I was just talking.
I was literally in the field with him, and I'm with my customer. He's just always trying to help me. I'm like, well, I'm good. So I be wondering, like, how the hell he closes his deals? But I guess his curse is his gift. So it works.
Because we all know sales is a numbers game.
Yeah.
Period. But we can actually maximize those numbers just by our approach.
Makes sense.
We can knock 100 doors. That's a given. But how many people are going to get 100 doors and get like 80% of the people listening to you? And it's really easy. It's very easy. Because I'm so open-minded about it.
It's easy. I disagree with you. It's not an easy field. It's not a sexy field. But with self-development and increasing your skills, it becomes easier. Like some people who have to knock 100 doors, like I could knock 50 and I'm guaranteed one because I improve on my skills. Sometimes people don't take time to improve on their skills, they have to knock the 100 doors. So I feel like work smart, not hard.
Well, it's a mindset, like I said. It's always the mindset. I want to be that confident because I know the field is going to bring something different. It's always going to bring something different. But if I look at it negatively, I'll be like, oh man, I'm going to hit 100 doors and get 20%. I hope I get a sale today. If I do that, then I'm not going to get a sale. If I read, I'll just word it out. I'll just word it out there.
I'm going to tell you what you're
yeah, definitely.
Listen, let me say this though, right? Because it absolutely does definitely work for you. Right? I've seen you overtalk a customer, but you know that you're overtalking a customer. The obvious thing is that you walk away feeling satisfied and your customer feels satisfied as well. Right? And that's more important to me, that your customer feels satisfied. So there's times where you're going to lose sales, but you're going to have to knock more doors. But I definitely think that, for you, You just gotta look at whatever your weakness is. I don't wanna tell you what your weakness is.
Well,
I don't
I'll
think she
walk
can tell
away
you what
from
your
a sale.
weakness is.
I'll walk away from a sale. I'll give them my back. Who knows? That might work. They might tell you, why are you walking away?
Yeah.
Everyone got their own gift.
Important. You know, listen, aren't you gonna ask her what her weakness is and she asks you what your weakness
Oh,
is?
she don't got no weakness. She already got the advantage. She's the
We all
woman.
have weaknesses, like.
She's like, I'm confident. I got this.
Yeah. Being that this is a self-reflective question, right? Let's self-reflect anyway. What do you feel like?
My weaknesses?
Yeah.
Is I overthink and I will start thinking for the customer. I'm going on like, oh, she probably don't like me, she probably racist, she probably this and that. But what I do to combat that is I go anyway. So I'll be scared to walk into a door and I'll go anyway. So a lot of times people I be training, they feel like, oh, she's confident. Like my stomach be bubbly, but I know that's my weakness and I'm trying to get out of that.
Okay, I could agree with that.
I love it. So it's a numbers game for you,
All
right?
right.
And then you face your fears.
I'm scared every day, so I still want to do it.
I know
That's
that's
what
right.
gets me going. It's like I'm scared of this field.
Yeah.
I'm scared of knocking doors, but every day I go because I know my end goal is.
Right. I know for me, guys, right, this thing is like a bully, right, that keeps coming at me every day for my lunch money. And I hate that feeling. Don't you hate that feeling? Right? So I always like to stand up to that bully as quickly as I can during my day. That's why I like to get me a sale early on in my day so my anxiety eases down. So this way, when I'm dealing with my customers, they looking at someone that's already successful. Anyhow, anyway, I don't care. I'm successful already, baby. Right? So what are you going to tell me now? Right? And they can feel that energy. You know, it starts with the presentation, but by the time I get there and I smile, and I give you some good eye contact, right? And I let you know, hey, by the way, you know, your neighbors already got the services, if we're talking residential, right? By the way, you know, I just signed up for business across the street. They told me to come over. Matter of fact, you know, Rob? Right. There's so many different ways, right? But I know for me, right, I like to defeat my bully early, right? Because sales is a different type of animal. Each and every day, it can defeat you if you let it. Right? So let me ask you, like, what advice would you give to the next generation? I'm talking about the people that we're bringing on board right now, the people that are looking forward to us to give them guidance and tutelage and knowledge. What advice would you give to them?
They already got the advantage. I'm gonna give this a I wish I could start earlier. I came in the game very late. Oh man, the fact that the next generation is actually more up, they're more upfront about it. They are looking.
They starting younger.
They are starting younger. Like I never even heard of the opportunity. So I would definitely want if you motivated person, you're a go-getter. You definitely I would say believe in what you do, right? Believe in what you do and go get it. I definitely feel comfortable doing it.
So I mean, let me ask you a question. I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit, right? How many kids you got?
You want the short version or long? I got 5.
5 kids. Okay. Right. The oldest is how old?
He's 23.
Wow. Okay, great. First off, congratulations, bro. Right? My daughter's only 12. But would you pick this as a profession for him? Would you want him to go into door-to-door sales like you did?
Yes. I wish he was more uplifting to himself, right? He has his own path right now. But I planted the seed. It's there, and I know he's gonna go because everyone uses it. It's in everyone. You have to have a seller be sold attitude.
Nice plug of Grant Cordone's
book. Definitely.
Latest book, right? Seller Be Sold. Not his latest, but you know, nice plug.
That's mandatory. It should be mandatory.
So you know, with that being said, right? Some of the traits that you just gave me, you said that you wish he believed in himself more.
Right.
That's something that the sales office gave me, right? That's something that my father couldn't teach me. And I'm not sure why he didn't teach me that, right? But he thought that I was going to get it in college. Luckily and thankfully, I got inside of the sales office, right? Why do you think that parents don't encourage their children to get into this type of business earlier?
I guess because they're scared for them. They're scared for them. I mean, you're introducing yourself to public, basically to strangers. You don't know who you're knocking out, whose door is gonna open up. So that mystery, our parents always gonna protect. So they're never. Me personally, I want them to do it. I want them to know what it feels like to be in a sales office. It's so diverse. It's not fast paced like you're picking up phones for the stock market, you know? And it's always very comfortable. Everyone's comfortable with each other because it gets into either competitiveness or you want more for your life or you just want to brag.
Well, listen, let me throw that ball over to Misha, right?
Right.
Because, you know, you're someone that you come from a well-off family, right? You obviously didn't have to take door to door as a profession. It wasn't something that you looked at, and why do you not think that? And by the way, you got kids as well, right?
So, yeah, was 18. Yeah, so he's definitely ready.
Right, right. Would you want him, first and foremost, would you want him in this profession?
Most definitely. To bring it back home, I actually used to do door to door, like when I left 2020 company that I started out doing door to door. I went into real estate. I used to door knock, and I used to take him to the field with me, just to kind of let him get a feel of it. But just to piggyback on what Wilson said, a lot of time parents we're sheltering the kids, we're protecting them, because entrepreneurship overall is not easy. And I feel like that's why my mom paid for me to go to school to get a 9-to-5, because it's safe for me. So I'm fortunate to be my son of our, like in the same, because I had him very young, so we're kind of like brothers and sisters. So I could relate to him more than she could have related to me. And I feel like I don't want to protect him. Like I tell him all the time, don't turn on no opportunity, just turn on your collar. Like if you don't know something, you take opportunity, you learn to do it. So right now he's 18, he's still in school, he's doing DoorDash, he's doing Foot Locker. But I feel like I'm going to give him time to develop instead of just pushing something on him. But him seeing me do certain things, I feel like he wants to do it, but doesn't have the courage. And I could relate to an 18-year-old not having the courage. So I definitely would love for him to do sales. I don't see nothing for him but still, like, he's a sharp kid, like very intelligent, good looking, and I feel like he'll do phenomenal. I remember my first time in sales, like I was scared. But what kept me going is the energy within the office. It felt like it's a shark. Everyone was so sharp, and I was just lousy. For months, I couldn't sell nothing, but what kept me going is like he was making money, the checks was being posted on the wall, and it's like the energy, like the money energy was in there. It's like, okay, so this is what keeps my mom going, the money. I want that, and I know I can't, like, I'm not saying I'm competing with myself with her, but I want to make her so proud, but not in the field that she's in, because I'm not into the restaurant business. I'm like, okay, sales could bring me to where I want to go, so that's what keeps me going. So to the younger generation, I'll say this takes time to self-development and time to learn.
I love that. I really do. Let me say this, right? Because my father was an entrepreneur, tried and true. Right? He had a business. And I would watch him count cash. I'm talking about on Mondays, on Wednesdays, and then again on Friday. He had a miscellaneous business where he would buy. It was amazing. It was amazing, right? Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays that he would actually do pickups on these days. And I watched him be an entrepreneur. I saw him how often he would pick up money. He would walk inside of a grocery store, and this is when I'm young, right? He would walk inside of a grocery store, and he would literally talk to the owner, and they would give him money. What I didn't know then was that he was buying everything behind the counter at a cheaper price and selling it to him at a higher price, making a profit, right? So he would come there with one day, pen and pad, write down their order.
He was in dropshipping.
Somewhat, right? Somewhat, before drop shipping was the thing to do. But he would deal in miscellaneous. That's what they call it, a miscellaneous business. So anything behind the counter. If the customer wanted, if the grocery store needed cap guns, water guns inside the summertime, right? If they needed Vicks 44, I don't even think they make Vicks 44 anymore, right? But this was cough syrup medicine. He would buy it at cheaper price, sell it to the stores. And I watched him do this for so many years, right? But he hated the business. He really hated the business. But this was a cash flowing business to the point where I'm getting older and he's talking to me about taking a city test, right? And I couldn't understand it. Like, you know, he got business cards inside of his house, and I'm watching him count this money, and I'm watching him count it. I'm literally counting it with him, right? He's handing me money to count too, like, yo, count that and make sure it's, you know, this many tens, this many fives, this many hundreds, right? And that's how I would count the money. I say all that to say this, guys, right? Because thank God I found sales. And it wasn't because my father drove me to sales, but what he did was sales. He's a salesman. He's still in the real estate to this day. But he never quite found the words to let me know what he was doing. He didn't understand that he already had a plan. And I watched this plan and I followed this plan to the T. So I remember the first time he realized that I was making real money. Like I'm making $250,000 per year, right? And unfortunately, when he found out, it was at a time where it just shocked him, right? It was actually the first time I got taken for child support, right? And I remember telling him like how much they getting, and he's like, "God damn, boy, how much you making?" Right? If they want this much from you per week in child support, and I told him, he was like, "Did you tell the judge that you making that, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Pop, that's what I was supposed to do." He was like, and I just remember him breathing on the phone. I went to sleep after that, right? Because then I realized, like, hold up, I have to wake up now. I've exceeded my father's expectations of me. He didn't have any more words of wisdom, any more guidance to give me at that point. And I've lived my life each and every day just like it's that moment. Because now once you realize that you can exceed the people who love you the most, their expectations, now you're living for you. It's all for you. Now it's you motivating you taking yourself to a new level. And thank God, because Door to Door gave me that. Got some amazing notes.
That's some
I want to talk about the next generation of this business, of our business, of Bridge the Gap marketing. And when I think of people that I want inside of this business, I think of people that I respect and I admire. I want to introduce you guys to somebody that I definitely respect and admire. Her name is Ariel Martinez.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Great job, all for you. We just want to make sure that we take some time to celebrate you. You know.
Definitely.
So listen, let's get right into it.
Yeah.
Right? Where are you from?
I'm from California.
Okay. So you were born and raised inside of California?
Yep.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I went to California one time and I realized that I didn't have enough money to be there. Right away.
Yeah.
So,
Here's expensive too.
oh, very
But,
expensive.
yeah.
Very expensive. I think if here's the place to make the money and then you go to LA to spend the money.
Okay.
Am I right about that?
Yeah, more or less.
So what brought you to New York?
I just always wanted to move here, and I just decided that I was going to.
So you just decided. You know what? I love it.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people, they have to have a why or a how, and for me it was like, I just need to do. You know, you could get really caught up in the why and the how are you going to do it, but if you just go and do it and trust that you know yourself enough to work hard and figure it out, you'll be fine.
I love that. I mean, I absolutely love that. Where did you get that from? Because that's what I want. I want to bottle that up and I want to sell that to people in a fucking Coke can.
Yeah.
Well, you already have that.
Wow.
So definitely from family. My parents both grew up poor, but especially my mom. She had 4 siblings growing up, and her dad was the moneymaker, but he was also an alcoholic, and he also was a gambler, and he would hand her money while she was hungry and be like, go and buy me more cigarettes, or go and buy me more alcohol. And at the time, kids could do that. They could go to the store and buy alcohol or cigarettes for their parents. And it was so heartbreaking because all she wanted to do was spend it on food. Yeah, for her family. And my grandma really struggled because she had to figure out like how she was going to make ends meet. And it was a lot of potatoes and beans and rice, and it was just that over and over and over. And my mom saw that growing up, and she's like, that's not what I want for my kids. My kids will never grow up going hungry. My kids will never grow up going through what I went through. And so it's true. It's like when I was growing up, we never went hungry, and it was all because of my mom. And I'm so grateful for her. She's always had that drive. But impressing that on the next generation isn't always easy either, because my older siblings, they grew up with spoons in their mouth, right? So they took her drive and they just let her be the person that does everything for them. But I was the one that disliked that because I'm so independent. I want to do things for myself. It's like I can do my own laundry. I can go to the store myself. I can do that. I can make my own bed. You don't have to clean my room for me. That's always how I've been. And so when you say like bottle it up, like I believe to a certain extent some people can change, but it is hard.
Very much so.
So
You know, that's interesting. How many brothers you have?
I have
How many
two.
brothers and sisters?
I have one sister and one brother.
Wow. So, are you the middle? Are you the youngest?
I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest. Wow.
And she's the youngest. And she's,
You know, not
she's
the-
your cup of tea. Head-driven woman.
Yeah.
Independent. I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
I respect it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just so
You have
interesting,
to.
right? Because I mean, you're one of three,
Mhm.
right? And I've seen it before, right? Like I have this theory. Like I like dealing with people who can overcome challenges.
Mhm.
So when I'm interviewing people, I listen for the challenges that they had in life. And that's not something that people want to tell you about. But that's what I'm looking forward to. I don't need to see a resume. I want to see what have you overcame.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What pain have you been able to deal with and how do you process issues? Because I believe that the real reward goes to the person who can process issues every day of their life without having a breakdown, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Well, the book that I showed you, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, that is a great book. But it talks about how everybody goes through pain. Like, nobody is unique in the way that they evade pain. We all go through it. It's just how you deal with that pain and taking some responsibility for that pain. Because you might not, I mean, something happens to you and it's not your fault, but how you feel, that's your responsibility. Like that pain that you feel because of that event that happened to you, that's up to you. You can't blame it on God or your brother or somebody else. Like you can't have this victim mentality.
you dropped the bomb. You dropped the bomb. And I love that book. That book got me through so many tough times inside of business.
Right?
It taught me how to control my state at a time when I really needed it.
Yeah.
So when I saw it, I identified with you right away. You probably got the job right from the moment you pulled that book out. I'm telling you right now. I put it on my Instagram and everything because it was just, you know, sometimes you can ask people what are they reading and they won't even know what book it is, right? And then that person, I'm like, okay, get away from me right away, right? You're not self-developing. And that's scary to me if you're not self-developing. And then you get some people that it's like, yeah, I'm reading a book, but it's I don't know, it's, you know, a wizardry book or something, right? Nothing practical about life.
Right.
And then it's like, yeah, get away from me. But the person who actually pulls out a book, and I know it's about their self-development, about making themselves better, about actually getting a skill that they can actually transfer to somebody else, I say, yeah, absolutely, I want it, right? How old are you?
24.
24 years old.
Yeah.
At 24 years old, what were you doing?
Not that. Oh man, it's motivating. Like I said, the opportunities that I got now, I wish I was her age. I would have definitely enforced them. And she brought it to the field, and she worked through diversity. So I definitely respect that. Definitely.
24, Mish, where were you? What were you doing?
24? I didn't get to the school till I was 26. I started knocking doors. But at 24, I was working at my mom's restaurant and partying.
Right.
I was
But I was
30 when I started.
30.
30. I celebrated my 30th birthday in 2020 office. You know, it was lit.
But listen, this goes back to your point though, right? You know, females in door to door.
Yeah.
Right? Do you feel like it's easier? Do you feel like it's easier being a female?
Yes and no. I mean, we definitely have a lot more people who are open to talk to us, but that also invites the other side of it too, right? Where guys feel, oh, okay, pretty girls, we're gonna go and scope out. Okay, we'll take your business card with your number on it.
Right.
Love that.
Right.
Yeah.
I never thought of it in a woman's perspective.
Yeah, so I mean, I definitely feel more comfortable with a group of people, especially having a guy there, because it can be kind of scary if it's just two females.
Yeah. Conversation starter, definitely though. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, listen, that definitely gives me a different perspective on it, right? Let me ask you though, right? And this is just different. What did it feel like when you made your first sale?
My first sale, oh, it felt amazing, honestly, and it was weird because it was kind of a weird day, like it was a really cold day, and because at first I was just thinking, okay, today's my first day that I have my name registered and everything, and then the weather got kind of cold, so I didn't get hung up on
bad
sales.
weather too?
Yeah, I
Oh
didn't
my
get,
God, that's a really rough day.
yeah. But I didn't get caught up in sales because I was just so cold that I wasn't thinking about it. And then, all of a sudden after that, that kind of brought my day up, because I was kind of in a bad mood. You could ask
She's
Lamesha.
nice.
Yeah.
I thought we lost her. When I look back, it's like a walking zombie. Her mascara, you know, she come up together every day.
Wow.
Her mascara was running, her hair, because it started snowing, right?
Yeah,
It
it
was
started
snowing,
snowing.
it was raining, it was cold.
Yeah.
Her mascara was running. I'm like, fix her mascara. She's so
Right.
upset to the point. She's like,
I'm like, what's the point of makeup right now?
Put me in front of the
I know.
Put me in front of the door. I got
I
this.
love this moment.
I probably-
love
Brush
this
this
Yeah.
moment.
off.
it was everything, but it kind of. I'm glad she went through it because it showed her like you could have bad days, but your your day could end up being good because she got to say her first day. Like that was the worst day and actually her best day. Like she learned a lot.
Yeah, I did.
But I definitely thought she made this girl like we was gonna lose her. Cause me and AJ was walking, cause we walk on a pace when we walk, which we're teaching her now. But we lost that pace with her. Like she was way behind us. She had her little water bottle and she was like. And if I read her mind, I've been there before and door to door. It's like, what the fuck did I do in life to deserve to be here?
Yeah.
And I feel like,
No, seriously.
In the
I
field,
saw 100.
really?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You gotta create the drive
and you
somehow.
have a beat up day, you want to ask them like, where did I go wrong? Why am I here? But it's not until you rewarded with the conversation or the people or the networking, which you like, oh no, I deserve to be here. And I feel like she got that at the end of the day. Like the guy he was super nice. And
He was very nice, yeah.
He was super nice.
Yeah.
See, you don't have to fix anything. You fix makeup, fix this, fix that. As soon as you get in front of them, you're probably fixing all that and says, what you selling?
I love that moment though. I love that moment of overcoming and defeating the bully, like I was talking about in episode before, right? Like you defeated the bully.
Yeah.
So at that point, right, did we lose you?
You know, I was, no, because very much like everything that's challenging, you're going to doubt sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, it's my first week. If I didn't doubt it, it would be too easy.
Right.
You know?
You would have my mentality.
Yeah, it's just too easy. I know my last job, I felt unchallenged, and I felt like every single day I was just doing the same thing, and it was very unchallenging. And I had a college degree, and I didn't get to use it. It was just very robotic. I was like, I could be replaced with anybody, you know. And here, it's a field that challenges you, but in a way that's really beautiful because you grow from it. And not every door is the same. Every door, in fact, is different.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you never know what you're
not
gonna
a
get.
job, it's therapy.
So, yeah,
I love what you just said. It's therapy.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes a job, I never looked at it as a job. It's a therapy session.
It's crazy. Sometimes the only thing that does make sense to me is the doors. That's sometimes the only thing that does make sense to me. Because I know, again, I can buy back my freedom. I can go make 3 sales today, right? And I can make more than most people inside of a whole week. And then I just bought my week.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And then especially when we exist inside of a business where we can recruit others, train them, transfer our skills to them, and then they can make money and we can make a commission off of them, it's a game changer, right? So I guess what I want to ask you now is that, you know, now that you know that you got this superpower inside of you, right? It's called how to process issues. It's called how to defeat the bullies inside of your life right now because you beat the shit out of them, right? Your first week inside of the field, inside of B2B, right, which is not easy, you're already closing business. You closed 2 sales already. And obviously you had help, but we all have help. You're going to need help to be able to close business inside of your first week, so don't be too bad on yourself. We would tell you if you wasn't doing well, right? Now at this point here, right, how has that changed your goals, knowing that you can literally think and make the change and put action to it? I mean, literally, you got execution skills now. You executed this whole thing. You came in for an interview. I told you about the position. You said, yeah, I think I can do this. I think. I saw it in you. Like, I think. I'm more sure at this point that you can do this than you are. Right? You go home, right? You hear from Ronnie on it. You know, you go through all this rigmarole. You come back out, and then you get in the car with 2 new people that you don't know. You never met in your whole entire life. Like, it's like, what are they going to do? They're going to kidnap me? What the hell am I doing? Right? And then you get inside the car, and you have a pleasant conversation, and you realize, oh, these people are very human. Matter of fact, they're self-educated. They're, you know, this is like a college, all inside of this one little car real quick, on the way to the field, right? What they're listening to. It's, you know, it's no nonsense. Focused. And then you get out there to the field and you see what they do, and you see that these folks are crazy.
They're crazy.
You're like, oh, this started like that. They're fucking crazy. They're knocking on doors. They're literally introducing themselves. No one cares. Like, what are they doing?
Mm-hmm.
And then you think to yourself, like, I gotta do this, right? But you stick it out. And on your worst day, you actually accomplish the goal.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that you got it in you.
Right.
Like that story of David and Goliath, I love that story in the Bible. It really does. It's like what my life is like every day when I wake up. So I'm addicted to it now. So I set my goals differently.
Can you elaborate on David and Goliath? Sorry,
David and Goliath. Okay, yeah, this is a story in the
I
Bible.
forgot.
It's my, yeah, absolutely. No, it's all good. It's all good.
It's
Yeah, absolutely. It's my favorite story inside the Bible, right? It's one where David is a little boy with a slingshot, and Goliath is a big giant. Okay? And they go to war, and no one expects David to win.
Right.
But he defeats the bully with just a slingshot.
Oh wow.
Right? And that's what our life is like each and every day.
Right.
Right? We got this big, tall mountain to climb. I keep vision boards around me, right? And my vision and my goals get bigger and bigger. Right? When I thought of this podcast, I thought to myself, like, how the hell am I gonna make a podcast happen? Right? Who am I gonna find to do it that wants to do it? Who wants to listen to what we go through, right?
Right.
And then I started to realize, like, no, it's on your execution. Do it, put it out there, make sure that they see it, right? Because someone else thinks like us. But for you, I want to know, how has this changed your goals? Are your goals the same, or are you setting bigger goals for yourself?
I'm setting big goals for myself. I definitely keep vision boards for sure, but I think that this sets a different tone for me to attain my goals, because the thing about this field is that it always keeps you hungry. You're not in that job where you're like, okay, I'm making an X amount of salary and that's what I'm gonna make, no matter if I go to the bathroom for 15 minutes or if I go to the bathroom for 30 minutes or, you know what I mean?
I like looking at it unlimited.
But
I don't like having a cap.
But
I
yeah,
want to be able
you
to
can
point in the right direction and keep going and going.
exactly.
And going.
You decide how your day is gonna go, and if you don't make that sale, like you say, you face the bully and like you have to go and get it. You know, time is of the essence. You have to like go and keep the pace, and that's what it is, keeping the pace. And if you have a goal, you have to know what it would be like to obtain it. Is it 50 doors, 100 doors, 100 doors? Doesn't matter, but you have to have your numbers and just keep knocking.
Guys, let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys have any doubt in your mind that she's going to be successful?
I mean, yeah, the first time I met her, I knew that something about her, if she survives, she's gonna be phenomenal. Like, she has drive, she has vision, and she knows what she wants, and I think it's the right position for her. Like, someone should be telling you you're worth $50 per hour.
She already caught that ahead of time. Like, you guys looking at jobs. This is not a job.
Yeah.
I have no doubt.
I say
No
that
doubt
because
she's gonna
I say that because I know that you still have doubts, right? But don't. Pick up every skill that you possibly can get. This communication skill is going to take you very far. You're going to be standing in front of tens of maybe 1,000 people, 10,000 people one day, right? If you so choose, if that's what you truly want to do, but you can do it, right? And you're going to become fearless about it. And it was first because you was able to walk inside of a business and stand in front of one, right? And I can't wait for you to actually experience that. You know, I got this theory, right? I always look for immigrants, right? I'm just a really big fan of immigrants, right? And one thing about you, when I learned that you migrated here from LA to New York, to me you're an immigrant. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm literally, I'm searching, I'm trying to get out. As of 3 weeks ago, right? Because there's something about the person that's willing to leave the old life that they had and go get a whole new life. That's that 360. I got friends that I don't speak to. You know, I still call them friends because what they did to me was they just didn't allow me to grow, and I stopped trying to explain that to them anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going in different directions. So, and I know how that affects me to this day, right? For you, can you talk a little bit about the people that you had to leave behind?
Yeah, definitely. I'm 24 and I've been friends with the same friend group since I was 12, so I have started to feel in the past like year or two that we're kind of growing apart. And one friend especially, she got her job and she's totally fine just being in her salaried position. And when I told her about going to New York, she just didn't understand. She was like, yeah, but why can't you do all those things that you want to do here? You know, and for me, it's always like a seed can't grow in rotten soil. And like, I just felt like the soil around me was rotten. And so I just need to like go off and do my own thing and figure it out on my own and be kind of away from home, you know, and not have my mom overwatering me. But yeah, you know, it's just like different seeds, different soil. So that's how I felt, and it didn't matter how many times I said it and tried to explain it. It just felt like I was talking to a wall. And at a certain point, I was just like, I can't relate to her anymore. And that kills me because she's literally been a part of my life for like half of my life. She's in there. But sometimes you need to like let go of those people so you can continue to grow.
Yeah. It's gonna be a tough road for you, but I appreciate you taking time to speak on that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of our viewers, I know I've been through it. I'm still going through it, right? I know you'll go through it, right?
Of course.
You know, the idea is that we overcome it. I think of it as in 3 stages. I was just telling Mr. Wilson the other day, you know, first stage is when they're still cheering for you, they're still rooting for you. As long as she can still see you, she still would have been like, yeah, girl, good job, Ariel.
Right.
Great job. I'm glad you're doing something you want to do.
Yeah.
And then when you actually start to pack your bags and you leave, it's like, well, I'm never gonna be over that way. Like, I'm sorry, you go ahead, right? And it's like, call every now and then. And then it becomes distant and it makes you feel the way you want to feel. And it can't affect your performance if you let it. So it's a dangerous time inside of your life, right? Where you kind of still got to let go, but they're still trying to, well, you don't call me anymore and things of that nature.
Right then.
But you got to see your way through that point.
Right.
You got to continue on your upward trajectory, right? And make sure that you make them love you again. Because they will. She's going to say, no, I know Ariel. That's one of my best friends. We grew up together. Remember when she used to live over here at that house? You know, with her mom. I know her mom. I know her brothers. You know, I still speak to her sometimes, knowing damn well y'all don't speak to her often. But you dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so it's going to be a love, hate, and then love again relationship.
Yeah.
But you just got to make sure you get where you're going. If not, they'll hold you in between this space where they'll hold you in that hate space, that second stage. You know what I'm saying? So, I hope that helps.
Definitely.
You know, what's the goal that you're trying to accomplish?
A goal that I'm trying to accomplish is I want to be a millionaire by the time I'm 25.
Oh, we all have the same goal.
Guys, on that note, let's make some noise.
Yeah.